been working around some new methods, and for the first time, they are giving us some trouble. Of course, it would happen tonight. All right, right here. So we are about 2:30 into the game, just a little bit over right now. And right now we have seen no kills, so don't worry, you guys didn't miss anything. Just a bunch of boring farming. Let's see. Let's check out jungle paths. Looks like Slayden started on bot side. Lord of Admirals as well. So yeah, maybe we join just in time to see some initial action from the junglers here. Going down to the river, Ukulele JJ, or excuse me, Ukulele J, puts down a ward, maybe just trying to help Slayden to get that early crab. Sorry, I interrupted you. Anything going on for you, Tux?
Oh no, I definitely did see that they did find themselves a sneaky little ward on Slayden's blue buff here, so they are aware that Slayden is roaming up top side.
And Lord of Admirals is going in. He is being really aggressive here onto Ukulele JJ. Don't know why I keep adding a second J. It just seems like it should be there. But anyways, does burn the flash, so nice aggressive gank from the Lilia. Gets in lane, and even though it looked like it was never really going to be a kill because Gotta Get Lucky was pushed to tower, forces the summoner spell out, so he'll be revisiting that in the next 5 minutes, I would think.
I'm actually surprised that Lord of Admirals decides to back right there. Definitely could have transferred that flash into possible, see if that river crab was being contested, since he would have Gotta Get Lucky, get the roam in there, but instead we will have Slayden double crabbing the river potentially here. Put himself
Could be a gank down in the bot lane, but Lord of Admirals has a read. Well, he's down for the crab anyways, but now he's in the right position to get in. Nice flash away from Brandana, gets away from the slingshot of Slayden, pulls them together, but they are under the tower, and now here comes Lord of Admirals, lands the Swirl Seed. Slayden in trouble, gonna get put into Cell Division, and the bot lane just has to run away. Prowler taken really, really low. Lord of Admirals flashes in, there's first blood. Meanwhile, Slayden is still behind the play. Burn the Heretic is gonna die as well, already burned his flash aggressively earlier. Pointy has come down, gonna pick up one kill onto Peach, but I think that he is in trouble now. There's the condemn into the wall. The level advantage won't be enough. Flashes, I'm not sure if that was really necessary or if it was really ever going to achieve anything. So 3 kills, 4 kills actually, 4-1 down in the bot lane. Lord of Admirals arriving at the perfect moment, and Brandana and Peach got away from the initial setup just long enough to turn it around.
I have to say, I am astonished by how well that translated for the Vayne. She is in a prime position right now. Even if she didn't get all the kills, the fact that she has now the experience and somewhat of a gold lead now on the Caitlyn, that's actually all she really needs now to be even with Caitlyn, as before she was slightly behind.
Yeah, a little... Sorry, go ahead.
No, but fair enough. I was going to say, I was curious to see if Slayden will be coming in for a regank to try to turn it over towards the bot lane side and, you know, kick it over to a dragon, or if he will try to let his own bot lane level off the difference themselves just through naturally Caitlyn's poke ability.
Yeah, Brandana, unfortunately, after all those kills that you mentioned, or the kill participation that is, did still have to stick around and push that wave alone, and didn't get a completely ideal recall. Missed some minions there under the tower, but as you said, still got to be very delighted with where you are right now, laning his Vayne against Caitlyn. Oini and Chaotix duking it out in the mid lane. Another Twin Fang comes out, but Chaotix will get away. Lord of Admirals showing his presence again, as Peach just throws out some glitter at Prowler down in the bot lane.
But if you did notice, as I was saying before, with bot lane's ability to push in on the on their enemy side, as you saw, Caitlyn and Rakan both travel down, put deep wards on Lord of Admiral's side of things to hopefully negate the next gank that would be incoming on them. As you know, gank me once, shame on me; gank me twice, well, that's shame on you.
A lot of pings coming out on the map from Team LOA. Thank you, by the way, for the idea of calling them that. Just rolls off the tongue a little easier than Lord of Admirals. More pings up in the top side. I'm not sure what really they're trying to signal. Looks like Team Prowler is aware of Lord of Admiral's position right now, near his blue buff.
It's possible that they are waiting for the crab to initially come out, and after the crab comes out, they'll be pinging for Herald, possible Herald trade for the dragon.
Gotta get lucky, goes aggressive there, looks for the knockup, but Ukulele J able to get away from it initially. Relatively even trade. Thick Skin still available for Gotta Get Lucky. Probably gonna have to pop it actually as Sladen is here. Could be a gank opportunity. Dragon is taking down bot, so they know that Lord of Admirals is not available. Gotta Get Lucky, burn the flash already, and Sladen is going to be able to run this down nicely. Oh, the last hit. Gotta Get Lucky. Almost able to get away, but not quite.
I do have to say, that was an amazing flash prediction by Sladen, as he almost, well, dare I say, telegraphed that Tahm Kench wanted to flash away into one bush to the other to evade vision from auto attack hits.
Yeah, really, really good point there. Because Gotta Get Lucky's flash was essentially useless there. Lord of Admirals hanging around the mid lane. Swirl Seed. Shockwave pulls Pointy back into Lord of Admirals. Oh, there's the nice ult, though, from Pointy, able to trade one back. Caught Chaosix staring in the wrong direction. Another good gank from Lord of Admirals, but unfortunately, Chaosix just a little bit too low, and Pointy able to trade something back.
Yeah, Chaosix probably thought that he had time to look back, since he assumed that the Lilia was going to ulti the Cassiopeia and therefore stop her channel of her ulti. Unfortunately, that is not how Lilia's ultimate works. There is a cooldown time between time of getting sleepy and then actually not being able to move, which did give Pointy enough time to cast a couple of Cassiopeia Qs out there to take care of Chaosix's life and make it a now even 1-for-1.
Peach and Brandana are doing such a good job of dancing around the abilities of Prowler and Burn the Heretic down in the bot lane. Meanwhile, Gotta Get Lucky, looking for a knockup again onto Ukulele J. Doesn't land it. Mundo able to just throw some cleavers back the opposite direction. In the bot lane, despite how disastrous that first attempted a play was, we do see Prowler at least hanging in there in farm. Generally, you'd expect to do so as Caitlyn, but after an early play like what happened, who knows the way a lane is going to go. Peach gets some good poke out, but Burn the Heretic able to shield up his bot lane carry. All summoner spells are now available again down in the bot lane, all 4. So could see another explosive play here at any moment. Brandana really stepping forward, but gets hit by the Grand Entrance, and there's the charm, but Prowler's exhausted, has to flash away. Burn the Heretic goes back, and Brandana will just let them go back under the tower. So let's see, 7 of those 8 summoner spells that I was just talking about were just burned.
Yeah, as I was gonna say, I noticed how the Caitlyn with almost no mana, low HP, almost asking for the Vayne to hard engage onto her. I was surprised that Vayne didn't go the extra mile and pop her own ulti to try to get some more movement speed to secure a kill. But with that being said, looks like another gank is going to be incoming.
Yeah, here goes Sladen, gets the grab onto Peach, looking for the second one. Prowler could be in trouble. Brandana gets pulled back, but does manage to get the kill, and now they have no damage left. Sladen's got to be careful here. He's going to try to bounce away, but the true damage of Vayne, one more shot, Burn the Heretic, will barely get away. Brandana takes a tower shot, can't go any further, but again, the ganks in the bot lane not working out for Team Prowler.
No, Vayne is so far ahead right now. If we even look at the gold amount, it looks to seem that Vayne is almost around a 1,000. As I say this, looks like
Sladen getting caught, yeah. Lord of Admirals finds Sladen in the jungle. Meanwhile, Pointy has come down to the bot lane again, so it's the second excursion south for the Cassiopeia already. First one resulted in 1 kill and a death. This time, just a kill, no death. Well, actually, let's see, because Chaosix is here, as is Lord of Admirals. There's the Lilia ult. Everybody's going to sleep, and they're going to wake up to a shockwave from Chaosix, a double kill for the Orianna, and Team LOA is off and running now.
If you even saw that, there was also a sneaky ultimate placed in there from Prowler onto Princess Peach. He was able to get a little snipe on the left-hand side.
All right, good call. I did miss that. I missed all the other actions. So Prowler at least able to answer something back there. Princess Peach got taken so low by the poison of Pointy. Just served it up for the Caitlyn. Gotta get lucky, getting close to taking down a plate here in the top lane. Think minions will get that one, they do. So, as we thought might be the case, these two top laners have largely been left alone. I guess we've seen one gank apiece by each jungler. Gotta get lucky, able to get away as Slayden jumps over the wall at him. So just as I say that, we do get some action up in the top lane. And Burn the Heretic has roamed up to the top side now. So I wonder if we'll see a Rift Herald attempt or something, because otherwise this is going to be painful for Prower trying to 1v2 in this bot lane for the foreseeable minute or so. Instead, it could just be Drake stacking. First one went over to Team LOA already. It looks like the second one will be uncontested, traded for the Rift Herald up top. Now Prower has to be careful, because if Board of Admirals wanted, they could set up a dive down here in the bot lane pretty easily.
And also, just getting a shout out here from Ace. It seems that we're about 5 seconds behind.
Behind? Okay.
Let's speed that up by like 5
Or maybe
seconds
we're just
here.
really bad at coming up with our thoughts about things. As I say, that huge light popping off right near the Rift Herald. Lord of Admirals goes down. That should be a really big shutdown that just went over to Pointy. So this Cassiopeia has slowly gotten really strong. Here's the dive onto Prower that I thought they might do. Condemn into the wall, and this Caitlyn unfortunately just left alone for too long. The Rift Herald will get taken eventually by Team Prower, but Brandana and Peach are making a lot of progress down here. Turret plating falls, so they're only able to get 2.
A massive lead right now by the Vayne. It's already 14 minutes, and she has a fully completed item. Plus, when she backs, she'll probably also have her boots completed as well, which will just allow her to move around the map even more so. What I'm curious now will be what Mundo's items will be against Tahm Kench. I think if he goes a Frozen Gauntlet, or the Frozen Fist, I believe they call it now, against Tahm Kench, that'll probably be what he needs the most of. Since Tahm Kench, without that teleportation move that he has, he's susceptible to all types of pokes and movement disabilities that Cassiopeia needs in order for her to proc her Q-Fangs.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, that would be some nice synergy for Pointy to be able to have, as it does look like, at least for this early part of the mid-game in this first match. Actually, Lord of Admirals, he's not going to let us talk. He's going to look for Burn the Heretic. Lands a Swirl Seed. Burn the Heretic able to dash away, and does have some friends. Slayden will threaten to jump back in, so Lord of Admirals will say, fine, I'll just take this Scuttle Crab. But as I was saying earlier, definitely seems like a lot of the eggs right now for Team Prower are in Pointy's basket. This Cassiopeia is getting strong. Couple successful roams. Lord of Admirals down here trying to harass for this red buff, and is able to steal it away with the smite.
Such a
2
bully.
level advantage there. Really, really tough for Slayden to deal with that one. And now you've got a dive potentially being set up on Pointy. I think he suspects it. And they draw out the ultimate, so no ultimate from Pointy now. In goes Slayden, really low on health, must have Cell Division available. In goes Burn the Heretic as well. Really, really nice wombo combo. Brandana already has had the shield bow popped. Is able to get away for now, but had to burn both summers. Princess Peach drops, but Burn the Heretic and Slayden went a little bit too deep, stumbling over my words. And although that play looked pretty good to start for Team Prower, I think just the gold disadvantage there rearing its head.
And also, while you were talking about on that fact, I was actually surprised that during that entire time frame that Tahm Kench didn't try to make him distance and TP down there to get some more action going for his team, as if they were able to take a nice 4-man kill there, they would have easily been able to rotate that into maybe 2 towers for mid lane and really open up the map for LOA's team.
Yeah, and if you look at the red quadrant of Team Prower's jungles, there's definitely a lot of wards in there that could have been juicy spots for Gotta Get Lucky to join in. But still, overall, the kill tally goes in the favor of Team LOA, so they continue to stretch that lead. It's over 5,000 now, which is massive for this early in the game. I always personally like to think of gold leads less as a number and more as a percentage, and Team LOA has over 20% more gold right now. than Team
And
Prowler.
with that percentage, we probably need to boost up the speed by another 20%. As I am seeing here, that at least for stream, they're on like 1744. Well, I believe we're around like the 1720 mark, correct?
Okay, we just keep falling behind.
So much action. That's right now we're about 1755, 55.
Pointy goes in looking for Princess Peach, actually, but goes down as Brandana arrives. All right, let me see. Where are you at right now, Tux?
Currently, I am on 1815. I think I have good pacing with what's being broadcasted right now. So let me see if I can just share my angle here. As Red Team has slain another Cloud Dragon, only need one more in order to call it.
All right, let's see how this works here. So hopefully we're all on the same page here. Once again, sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. Gotta get Luckily and Ukulele J continuing to just slap at each other up here in the top lane.
Speaking of Dragon Priority, I understand this is going to be a tough bill for them to afford, but Team Prowler actually needs to prioritize these up-and-coming Cloud Dragons, as Vayne's already a monster on her own. But then if you were to also take into account Vayne with the Cloud Dragon buff when she pops her ulti, she'll be able to run down the entire team of Prowler.
Kha'Zix finding Sladen. This is a little dangerous for the Zac. Gets very, very small, but able to hop away. And it seems like Team LOA has had complete control of this red side quadrant of Team Prowler's jungle for the last 5 minutes at least. Pointy able to dodge away from that swirl seed. Could have been dangerous. As you can tell that both teams really understand the importance of this mid lane outer turret right now. You've seen a lot of action around it, a lot of members joining in as Prowler gets chunked low by the dissonance of Kha'Zix. Lord of Admirals takes away another buff. I believe that's the second one already here at 20 minutes.
It looks like they will be trying to set up for the upcoming Baron, though I do not recommend, personally speaking, the usage of trading between Baron and this Dragon Soul. Well, with that being said, there's another fight coming in.
Yeah, big brawl up in the top lane. Gotta get lucky. Able to get away, though, as the grand entrance just went a little bit wide, and now Prowler's in trouble. Gonna go to sleep and not gonna wake up in time. In goes Sladen trying to answer. Lord of Admirals just dashing around as Lilia does. Teleports all joining in. Lord of Admirals with a big Q hits 3. Kha'Zix arrives, and everyone on Prowler's team is just melting. There's just too much of a gold disadvantage right now. Cell Division will not save you for long, and that's a clean ace, and maybe now we'll see that Baron that you were talking about. Lord of Admirals taking the turret.
It's such good synergy there. They didn't even need a Tahm Kench's re-engagement, even though I do believe that's what they utilized the ball for the Orianna ulti. But even if they didn't, if they used it on Lord of Admirals and just had him fly in with Lilia's amazing speed, either or, and also Lulu's speed up as well, but either or, that ball combo from Orianna is something that you cannot disregard.
Yeah, it was just difficult because you saw they missed the initial recon engage onto the Tahm Kench, and then, you know, Sladen was able to get in, but really only onto the Tahm Kench, who is so unbelievably tanky. Lord of Admirals was able to just prance around the fight, as Lilia does. They couldn't lock him down before help arrived, and then once that happened, it was one-way traffic the rest of the way.
Also, as a side note, I suppose my idea of what the Mundo was going for was correct, as he did pick up the Frostfire Gauntlet, though unfortunately, I do not believe he will be able to utilize it, as Blue Team has decided to surrender.
Oh, we've got a surrender here. All right, so a really dominant performance there in Game 1 from Team LOA. Well, we all at least I think got on the same page for the last 2 minutes of that game, so good on us for that. Anyways, sorry for the initial difficulties, folks, but we will get this machine well oiled, and we'll continue to deliver some good League of Legends here for you the rest of the night. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Game 2 in just a little while. Everybody, welcome back for Game 2 of the Captain's Draft Tournament. I'm Jeff, joined by Tux. We just saw Team Lord of Admirals with a really strong performance in our opening game, so they will advance further in the top half of our bracket right now. Team Prowler, not out of it yet. This is a double elimination tournament, so they'll have a chance to climb through the lower bracket as we get into that stage later tonight. But for now, we've got Team Huge against Team Greatbeard of Odin. Another two captains who are longtime veterans of the GMA gaming scene. Anything in particular you're excited about in this match?
As I said in the first match, I'll say it again in this one. The junglers will be the ones to really set the tone for the mid game into the late game if we get there for these two teams. We saw Lord of Admirals just coming in with, some might say it's luck, others will say it's just impressive timing on his behalf, but we have to all admit that those times that he came in for his team to get those kill participations on the board were nothing less but impactful. So I can't wait to see how Menards will be doing in this game going up against Huge.
Absolutely, yeah. For people who have followed GMA for the last year or so, Menards has honestly just dominated the scene at times. This is a player who I believe in the Community Cup semifinals, which was earlier this year, I think he drew all 5 bans from the opposing team in Game
Ooh.
5. They eventually just decided that they needed to do everything possible to shut him down, and it was just enough. But that was an incredible performance, one of the best performances I've ever seen in a losing effort by a player here in a GMA event. So obviously a really, really potent jungle carry threat. So I think you're absolutely spot on with that one. As for Huge, really, really good player. I personally have not seen him in the jungle role that much, at least recently. So I'm excited to see how he stands up to the pressure that Menards will be putting on him.
Well, if we're going on paper, he's definitely one to be shoulder to shoulder with the more so top of their echelon junglers that we have here to choose from. So I can definitely suspect Huge to make an impact. I just hope that we are able to get ourselves a nice counterbalance of team compositional picks, as unfortunately the hypers carry did get their ability to hyper carry at an early stage, which kind of snuffed the Kane's ability to do anything when it came to the matchup.
Yeah, really just the Caitlyn could never feel safe in any of those fights, it felt
And
like.
speaking of not being safe, looks like Kane mains will not be safe for this game either, as he does get banned first.
Yeah, we are into the pick and ban, Kane banned, and Yone on the other side from Team Greatbeard of Odin. Team GBO, I might end up calling them throughout this match. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see at least 3 bans aimed at Menards. Kane is one of the first ones. It's one of the first champions that I think people learned to fear out of him, and Olaf, another one.
Well, it looks like we're going to have ourselves a fifth round early, as they are already banning 2 prolific junglers.
And of course, we end up with the Akali ban. No one ever lets Greatbeard of Odin get that.
And the Wukong to finish it off. Let's see what the picks will be.
Yeah, the Wukong, that's another one that
Mm.
certainly makes sense. Godzilla on the side of Team Huge, a really, really good player on that champion. Definitely something that you want to take away from him. Amumu is first picked,
Oh, we
so
get
we're
to
gonna
see the
have
Chad Mummy.
and another champion that went through some changes recently. If I'm not mistaken, primarily played down in the support role now. Not so much hanging around alone with no friends in the jungle.
Let me just say, I played a Mumu on an account that I'm trying to level up to play with other people, and he's still a menace in the jungle. If you know how to throw your advantage tosses out, I swear they buffed that range by at least 20 dump trucks because I was thinking them stronger than Peyton Manning at the Super Bowl with how those tosses were.
Morgana and Misfortune picked up. So I assume, well, I guess Morgana can be flexed, right? So we don't necessarily know the entire bot lane makeup of Team GBO yet. Karma picked up on the side of Team Huge. So I feel like a lot of flex picks coming out so far, which is always a very solid strategy in draft. You want to keep your opponent guessing, make those counter pick opportunities as difficult as possible.
And how prolific League has been. I look at Set, Karma, and Amumu, and I can tell you right now, I cannot tell which one's going to be the support because I've seen Set supports, I've seen Karma supports, and with Amumu coming in as well. All 3 of these champions could easily be played both top or support, in all honesty, with Karma top as well as Amumu top if they really want to flex it that hard.
Yeah, could maybe even potentially put Karma in the mid lane. Fiora
Karma
comes out. I
Fiora.
wouldn't be surprised if that's Greatbeard of Odin. Very, very good on that champion.
So we might have gone from beat comps to finesse comps with Fiora selected. I wonder if it will be a set versus Fiora or if they try to match Fiora with something of a Darius Garen or maybe even a Udyr to bait out her riposte and then leave her vulnerable to a gank afterwards.
Oh dear, now that would be one that I would be interested to see because that's a champion that can do some silly split pushing shenanigans, almost creates a unique game within the game with the
Oh
way he can
yeah.
run around.
If they are people who have taken homage of D Gates gameplay, then I cannot wait to see Udyr really show what it is when it comes to taking down towers. But looks like it might be Graves in the jungle for the GBO team here. as I believe they're starting to really lock in where they're about to place these people with Caitlyn as an ADC. All that's left is the final pick from Team Huge.
Yeah, I suppose this Graves could still be flexed top if they want to run the Fiora mid with Greatbeard of Odin. Caitlyn picked up in the bot lane, so we still don't really know anything about Team Huge's placement. Obviously, we know where Caitlyn's going to go, but, well, there's the Victor. So now, let's see. I mean, obviously, the Victor's going to be mid lane. Then I guess it's got to be Karma support, Amumu jungle set top.
That top, yep, that is what it's going to be, unless they want to split it on our heads and have Victor go top lane, because I have also seen now
Sure.
Victor going top lane as it's more traditionally a farming lane, and that's what Victor needs in order to get his brand new reorganized. Wait a minute, is that a Nautilus I see?
So
Oh man,
we're gonna have a Morgana mid out of Greatbeard of Odin, a longtime critic of Morgana as a champion.
he has become what he has hated the most in order to win. I respect it. Oh
Yeah, so that
man.
means that we will have Menards on Graves in the jungle. That's gonna be, that's another hard carry jungler. That's another one that is scary to deal with in the right hands. Almost scary to deal with even in the wrong hands. Graves is just such a potent champion when he gets some gold in his pockets. So it'll
It
be
actually
fun.
might. Oh, now I think about it, it might actually be Graves mid Morgana jungle. In fact,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Graves is another champion that I think GBO is very, very proficient on in that mid lane. I remember him playing it earlier this year quite a bit.
yeah,
And I'm sorry to tell you folks, but I think we're having some more technical difficulties. We had a player disconnect. So, I don't know. What do we talk about here with these team comps?
well, now we're gonna play rock paper scissors to see if we get ourselves Caitlyn Academy yet again, or if they decide to go into a different skin choice. Arcane did come out, and they did pump their Arcane skins out for everyone. By the way, have you seen Arcane? You
I have not. I have not
okay.
actually watched any of it yet. I hear good things. Um, but yeah, I have not dabbled at this time. It sounds like you have.
I've definitely seen it, but I will keep those ideas on the show reserved since I do not want to spoil not only the audience but also my fellow caster here. What I will actually ask you is that you definitely seen at least the skin that they chose for Caitlyn as to I suppose spotlight Arcane being a thing now for them. Do you find that Arcane skin to be a downgrade or an upgrade? If we're going to base it off of Caitlyn's initial League lore classic skin.
I don't know. Let me look it up. Take a quick look here.
Because spoiler alert for me, I will count almost every skin outside of the Jinx one to be a downgrade from Arcane to their classics.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there really isn't that much of a difference, right? So I don't know. I guess I don't really have a strong opinion either way. I do like the Jinx one though. I agree with you on that.
It definitely gave her less of a Cheshire cat smile and made it seem slightly more uh human in nature.
Well, it's interesting because when Jinx was first released, I almost sort of got the idea that she was supposed to be, this almost Joker like psychopath with that face, with that grin, and just her general character themes. But it seems like since then, with a lot of her skins and things, they've really been moving her away from that personality. So
Yeah, I
maybe
believe
this.
that all started off with the Odyssey skin, I believe, for Jinx.
Mm, yeah, let's see. I don't know if I can sort them in chronological order or not. But yeah, I mean, I believe the first Jinx skin release was Crime City Jinx,
Yep,
which sort
yep.
of, still had that
Laughing
wild
skins.
Yeah, that sort of craziness to it. Firecracker Jinx as well. Yeah, and then you get into Star Guardian, Odyssey. Project is sort of just its own thing as far as I'm concerned.
I think
Once
actually the
again,
project
folks.
one's
Sorry, go
interestingly
ahead,
enough.
Tux.
Okay, I believe the project one, interestingly enough, was the first one to actually break the mold for Jinx in that line of skins. Because part of that, all Jinx's themes were supposed to be kind of disjointed from what she's actually doing. Like for example, when she was in the Zombie Slayer Jinx, despite it all being gloom and doom, she's wearing these sparkly, more animated caricatures, which just seems out of place. But for the product one, she looks very enough in her own. There's not really any kind of hijinks or gags on the weapons that she uses. It looks very much business-like.
Yeah, I've never really put too much stock in how skins relate to lore. I guess I don't really keep up with the lore that much in general. League of Legends is still just a game where I just log on and try to kill people and try not to get killed. But there are certainly some interesting skins that I think they've done a good job of marketing as something deeper than just, a visual element, something to fancy up the game.
No, that is definitely fair. I mean, as for me, I don't want to out myself, but some might consider me a whale for League of Legends, but it's not my fault. I've been playing this game for like 10 years now. I'm allowed to have one game I whale at. But when I look at the skins, at least not really on the lore side, but just the skin background, because the art production team for League is actually top notch, where they'll have skins and they'll foreshadow other uh characters that will get future skins. That's how people got so hyped over the pool party
Mm.
skin line, because in
Oh,
pool party
sure.
you saw other people being part of the pool party, and then they started making those characters skins released as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that. But yeah, that is fun when you can sort of get a forecast of what's coming down the pipeline. Once again, folks, we do apologize. We had a player disconnect here. Draft was finished, so we will be able to get we'll be able to get right into spectator delay and then right into game two here of the captain's draft tournament. Game one going over to Team Lord of Admirals in a really, really impressive fashion. Lord of Admirals coming out of the jungle on Lilia, just wreaking some chaos, getting Brandanasaur ahead on the Vayne, and from there it was pretty tough to see Team Prowler being able to claw their way back. And it's looking like we might have to remake this lobby, but hopefully all 10 players will be able to join.
Yeah, unfortunately, it will be put a little bit of a delay on it, but we should be okay. This gives the other teams more time to just theory craft some more and to really talk about where they're going to be going for their own picks. And also, if you are ever interested in joining in on the main stage or just being a part of the community, do feel free to join into the GMA Gaming's Discord, as we do have in-house 5v5s. We do a variety of topics, not just League of Legends. We also now have a Halo as well as Team Fortress Tactics with other games on the way.
And there is an endless supply of great memes that you can enjoy at all hours of the day.
What are your favorite memes? Me personally, I've always been an OG memer, so I definitely love myself some classic Nyan Cat as well as the Rage Face ones. But I do have to admit, the Pepes have overtaken the luster of Rage Faces. The damn frog.
Sorry, I was distracted there for a second. My favorite memes. I don't know. That's a tough one. There are a lot that I'm sure I'm not even familiar with. Relatively uncultured, I suppose. I think one of my favorite ones is I don't know the actual formal name of it, but the one with the dude looking at the other girl. I think that one is just so diverse in how it can be used.
Yeah, that one. Yes, yes, I do know that one you're talking about. That's actually pretty good. Did you by chance see like the what some of the fans have done? Where they did like extended cut of that meme, whereas there's a whole backstory that goes along with
No,
it.
no, I have not heard about that.
Okay, so don't quote me now, chat, but from what I remember on that meme is that it goes from him looking at the girl. There's different variations. The one that I personally like is that he's looking at the girl with his girlfriend. She gets mad. They go on a side place to eat. He's like, wait a minute, I have to go real fast. He leaves. He takes a little bit of time. She follows him, sees him talking to that girl that he saw. She gets all angry. Turns out he was asking her where she got the outfit she was wearing because he wanted to get the same one for his girlfriend. Meanwhile, her, in a fit of rage, smashed his PS5. And then when he gives her the dress, she's like, "Oh my god, thanks so much," and then just looks slightly towards the wrecked PS5 in the distance, going, "Ooh."
That's a lot of backstory to come up with.
Well, if you give the internet time, they will find the means.
That is true. Yeah, the internet has no shortage of ideas.
It's
All
like
right,
some
folks. Looks like we are finally getting back into the game. Champion select pick and bans was already determined. And so this is just the teams going through the motions here. Team Huge against Team Great Beard of Odin. Match 2 of the night here in the Captain's Draft Tournament. Let me take a look at the bracket here. I believe that the winner of this game no, the winner of this game will not play Lord of Admiral's team. That will be match number 3 coming up, as Lord of Admiral's team will play Team Ravane coming up after this one. But for now, I know we already talked about it quite a bit before we had our technical difficulties, but is there anything else that you think we need to discuss with this draft?
If anything, we need to see just how much Fiora can get an early lead on set, as that is in reality the linchpin of Great Beard of Odin's team, in my opinion, when it comes to 5v5 matchup. If the Fiora is unable to Event Horizon the set, well, maybe Event Horizon is a little too much to say, but at least we need at least a 50 CS lead on the set. I will have to say this game will go to Team Huge.
All right. All right. So we've got the predictions coming out already and everything. I like it. We're going all in. All right. Come on, guys. This is already determined. Get those bands rolling.
A cheeky little extra, seeing if they can somehow spell out by chance what the first letter names of the bands. Something here. So we have ourselves an A, and A. They might go for a fifth A here. Meanwhile, we have ourselves YL. Whoop. Well, looks like you just team going with the warfare of going with nothing but A's. Hopefully that's what the letter grade they're going for as well.
You got to go for S, right? We're in League of Legends. We're not in school.
See, well, they don't want to sell themselves, too early. They don't want to get too hubris, go for an S and something goes wrong. It's a lot of pressure to take into account after all,
Don't want
you
to
know.
set the bar too high. Fair enough. All right. 45 seconds on the countdown, then we'll have the 3-minute spectator delay, and then, folks, we will finally get you into game 2 of our matches here tonight. For those of you
2-1.
who might have joined a little bit late, this is a new format here for GMA Gaming, something we're trying out, a one-night only tournament. So no longer spanning an entire season over 8 weeks, 12 weeks. Instead, we're just putting it all out there, letting teams run at it for a few hours and see who ends up on top. Oh, did they? Yeah, they even changed the portrait for Caitlyn a little bit, right?
Yeah, especially with that one as well. I think in this one, she's shooting through the glass of a scene in the show, which, funny enough, she actually never explores herself. So
So looking at these rosters, just going to talk about the tournament as a whole here for a second. Um, Tux, do you have an overall favorite for the entire tournament?
Ooh, an overall favorite. I do believe that it would be Team Ravane as my overall favorite, as I believe their support has claimed that they are a Leona Nautilus, and I believe they also said Blitzcrank player with maybe a little bit Soraka in between. I'm a sucker for those champions.
Yeah, let's see, Team Ravane, Gregosaurus Rex on support. Yeah, he is definitely does like to play those aggressive supports, the Nautilus, the Leona. I think when he first started maining support, Thresh was his go-to. So certainly a player that you'll probably enjoy watching.
Well, fingers crossed for sure, and no hard feelings from him if I do seem a little bit more critical. I'm just a loving dad who's watching his son do Pee Wee football, but I'm treating it like it's the NFL. Can't blame me.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Team Ravane. Yeah, that's a good solid roster there. Yeah, definitely.
What do you have
And
on
this,
your side? That's what I
I
want to know
mean,
now.
yeah, it's gonna sound like I'm being dishonest, but I
Okay.
swear this is what I would have said if you would have asked me an hour ago. But I do think the Team Lord of Admirals looks really, really strong top to bottom. You've got, some really, really good players capable of carrying games on that team. We saw Lord of Admirals just blitzkrieging through that game in game one, but also I think Brandana is, one of the scariest players that sort of pops up once a year or so. He doesn't play every GMA event, but when he does, he always seems to deliver. I believe it was our last split of the LCUS a while back, where he was just a monster in the mid lane throughout the entire split. Just honestly outclassed most of the competition. So I'm excited to see him down in the bot lane. I know that that's a position that he spent a lot of his time playing League of Legends maining. So I do think that that roster is really, really scary.
Well, that's fair enough. I'm not gonna hold it against you. Kind of cherry picking a team after you've just seen them have a
Yeah,
nice
I
and
know,
big
I know.
win. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. This is what we're here for. This is what
I
we're here for,
almost
and this is what the audience is here for. As it looks like we'll be jumping into the game now.
I almost changed my pick just because I knew it would sound that way. All right, here we go. Let's check out the skins. Skin showdown for game number 2. I believe we both chose Team LOA in game 1, and they did end up triumphing. So the winner of the skin showdown is 1-0 so far tonight.
Oh, and
Hmm.
we have Menard's Graves in the jungle. It looks like it will be Greatbeard Odin on Morgana. He has become what he hates for the win attempt, though. Oh, they
It's
definitely
Officer
updated Officer
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn. Oh,
Yeah,
they
wow, that's
updated
very different.
girl. Wow, Jesus.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
very, very different. Um, See, I like the Candy Cane Misfortune just for the festive feel. Um,
Oh, this is a hard one because you do have Dragon Set, which does beat Lunar Beast, Fiora, but Sentinel Graves kind of does beat Infernal Mumu. Deathstorm vs. Blackthorn, kind of the same idea pick. If we're talking with the Bonk Hammer in regards, we got to put it on Great Beard of Odin with just the amount of potential for favorability
more
here for the fans.
sure.
Also, I do like Astro not Nautilus as he is able to hover and he kind of
Yeah.
skips when he walks. Okay, that's it. I'm putting on Beard. I'm putting my vote on Beard.
Yeah, I am as well. I just like that. I like that bot lane combo really well. The no, it's called Deathsworn Victor, but I just call it Plague Doctor Victor. That almost swung the pendulum for me, but not quite.
Okay, and as we are loading in, it looks like the same issue is happening for me on the general expectation side. It might just be me on League's client when it comes to this, as they are still creating things like kinks. So we will be forced to leave and then restart.
Yep, we'll just hop back in. Hopefully, everything will line up for us this time.
we'll have to wait for Sig to reconnect all this spawn off of him.
Are you able to rejoin?
For right now, no, because unfortunately, I do not have any of the players that are in this game on my friends list.
Nope, we can't. Folks, we're gonna go on a brief, just a brief mute. We'll be right back.
All right, folks. Well, as the theme continues, we are having some technical difficulties. I believe that we will be able to get a stream back up for you for this game between Team Huge and Team Greatbeard of Odin. Unfortunately, it will not be casted. So you guys are just going to be able to sit back. Maybe you'll actually enjoy it better without the constant rabble of me in your ears. But just wanted to give you an update on that situation. That game will be coming to you. We will get you into it at some point, but you'll miss me and Tux for just a little while at least.
Yep. And to close it, we'll see if in this game too, if the skins do in fact get wins. The first game, it was
It was the
good
case.
for the skins, but in this one we'll see if it doesn't case well. Catch you 3.